got some experience. Chapter 5, A New Journey. Ah, so that there is more. Well, I guess we can see what's here. The Black Demon. After Oswald's defeat, I managed to get mixed up in all sorts of wild adventures. A long time passed in what seemed to be the blink of an eye. But on all of my travels, there's one thing I could never get out of my mind. Grow. What had happened to him? Was he even still alive? I realized it was time for me to embark on another journey. I thought back to what happened that day. Grow had fallen into the ravine with Oswald, but Oswald had survived, so it was possible that Grow had too. But even if he was still alive, it was likely his malfestation had grown worse. Far worse. Grow knew exactly how far he could safely push the limits of the malfested power within him. However, when the time came, he purposely went beyond them. His words echoed in my mind. I know that my mind will not survive if I harness my complete power. The thought depressed me. If that was what had become of him, it was up to me to keep my promise. I spoke to robbers, bounty hunters, and others who made their living in the shadows, all in hopes of finding clues to Grow's whereabouts. Yeah, that'd be the Black Demon. You know, he's kind of like that Azure Knight fellow way back. I'd keep well away. Not worth the bounty money, if you ask me. Elusive, cruel, devilishly fast, and wilier than a fox. None have survived long enough to get a good look at him. We got an unspoken rule in the shadows. Some things you just don't do, no matter how much money's on the table. Not unless you got a death wish, anyway. Huh? Where is he? Hell if I know. If I did, I'd make a quick buck selling the info to some rich goody two-shoes who wants to play hero. Were you even listening to me? The Black Demon. This was the first lead with potential that I had come across. Perhaps this would put me on the path to finding Grow. I thought about my next move. There was a limit to what I could accomplish alone. I needed help, and the only option I saw was the AVOL organization. I couldn't be sure the lead was solid. However, this Black Demon definitely sounded like an outsider, so I felt I could be onto something. Natalie and Dion had told me if they had any information, they would send a messenger. But what was the point of waiting? If my travels taught me anything, it was that I needed to take the initiative to get anything done. So I decided to contact AVOL through a secret channel they had provided for me just in case. Alright, so it looks like I have a whole new story path to check out. And there are still side missions all over the map. So it looks like the Libro Soul mode is still got more content to it, so that's good. Okay, we are back in a new recording session, picking back up in Libra Soul mode with our main character, Rhea. When we last left off, after going through a bunch of the side quest missions and exploring the map and sort of the additional side quest content, we were able to square off against Oswald again and finally take him down using the power of Life Leech. But now we're in Chapter 5, so what I'd like to do is continue on. I think I will stick to the mainline story missions until I either hit a wall or get to a point where I want to delve back into the side quests. And I think for sake of keeping the gameplay kind of interesting, like I did for the last session where the majority of the side quests were done with Sophidia's moveset, I'm going to switch things up again and try a different character. And I think for this session, I will go with Siegfried, Siegfried and Sophidia sort of compete for my second tier character slot. My main is Voldo, and in past games, my secondary character is usually Siegfried. And this one, it's kind of a toss-up between Siegfried and Sophidia, and so Calibur VI. But what we'll do... Let's see what weapons we have first. I don't think we really have any. But we can do 63,000 gold. I think we have enough to go and buy a new weapon. Look and see what they have in Fiendorf. We'd start off with a level 25. That'll probably be a good place to start. I do like that they add the weapon types for the DLC characters in here too. If I wanted to play with 2B's weapons or even Amy's, I could buy them here. Let's see. We'll go for the Cattle Bowl level 25 to start. And this will give me a chance to sort of talk through Siegfried's playstyle, and it's been a little bit since I played with the character in online matches. It'll also be a good chance to get the rust off. But we will proceed on to Athens Holding Council. Traveling by yourself is a lonely thing, and I have missed having good company. The road was long, but eventually I arrived at a town that had seen better days. Following the instructions I had been given, I made my way to a lake on the outskirts of town, and there holding an incense burner, and stood there holding an incense burner. Soon an agent from the Avil organization appeared and guided me to one of the organization's hideouts. Rhea, we were expecting you. It has been a while. ... Dion and Natalie again. Dion and Natalie were waiting for me. Apparently, Avil had been keeping close tabs on my movements, and they had known I was coming. From when I told them what I was doing and about this black demon, Dion fell silent for some time. Naturally, we've been searching for Grow, but to no avail. Additionally, it has been difficult to continue our search. Even our organization is fractious at times. Grow has been judged to be an outsider, but we are divided on whether he must be dealt with. Avil does not compromise regarding outsiders. However, Grow served us well for many years, and his contributions in the fight against Oswald have made him a hero. Many of us believe it is too soon to pass judgment on him, and so our investigations have stalled while we bicker on what to do. And besides, we do not even know whether he is still alive. I asked them what they thought about the rumor I'd heard. Well, we had heard those rumors as well. However, we do not know if it is indeed an outsider and have yet to organize an investigation. And we have no reason to believe this black demon is Grow either. However, if you're willing to help us with a little task, then we can mobilize some of our agents to gather information on it in return. I had no problem helping them, but I needed to know what that entailed. It's the Astral Fissures. Not all have been dealt with. We're working on a way to take care of them ourselves, but you are the most efficient way of doing it that we know of. As ever, our numbers are few. We know you no longer require the power of the Fissures, but if you aid us, we will aid you in return. After some thought, I agreed to help. Then it is settled. I shall tell you the location of an Astral Fissure. You can handle it yourself, I presume? Probably. I gave a small nod, and Dion told me the information I needed. Western Taklamakan Desert, a new mission. With the information Dion had given me in hand, I made my way to the newly discovered Astral Fissure. Zasalamel told me I still had the power to absorb them, and it was time to see if he was right. Was it level 47? The Astral Fissure was where Dion said it would be. Unlike Yangwang, the area was relatively unaffected, which was somewhat of a relief. Approached the astral fissure carefully, and a berserker appeared. I risked my honor for victory.
Battle 1.
It's nightmare? I think it's nightmare. Alright. I'm gonna try and explain Siegfried's playstyle here. Unlike the last two characters that I played in Libra Soul mode, Siegfried is a bit slower, as evidenced by the fact that he wields a big sword. A lot of his attacks flow pretty quickly in between each other, so it's a matter of using his different chainable attacks combined with a couple of his stances. Oh no, this is Siegfried. And then using his different transitional states, you can put a lot of pressure on the opponent. Even though he appears to be somewhat slower, by taking advantage of chaining different attacks together, he's actually surprisingly quick. And as you can see there, focusing on the offense is pretty key for Siegfried.